Argeth the Nether Spider can be beyond frustrating, especially in the hard Doom Tower. What's up, guys? Finally he sleeps here with another video for Raid Shadow Legends. Make sure you subscribe here at YouTube, turn on notifications so you never miss when a video goes live for the best beginner's tips to Raid Shadow Legends. It's free, it's cheap. Just subscribe. All right, so let's take a look at this. Argeth the Nether Spider can be found in this rotation on Doom Tower. This is a floor 90 on hard, and this is an alternative team setup for this build. The way you have to go about Argeth is you have to remember a few key elements, and once those come into play and you start to understand what actually works against him and what doesn't work, it's much easier to build a squad. You cannot come in with enemies that attack AoE. If they're hitting the spiderlings with their counterattack, it heals the Nether Spider. So you want to avoid anything that attacks all enemies. You don't want any turn meter control, because turn meter control on the Nether Spider will send damage back your way. So those are the two main things. The most important, though, is you need to be able to cleanse your team of all of these poisons. Now, the team that I have built here, it's a very, very slow run for this, but this is level 90 on hard, and it is working here just fine. It just takes a very, very, very long time. You need a lot of resist, a lot of accuracy, because the main things you need to put on the Nether Spider is decrease attack. You want to be able to hit him with the decrease heal. You want to remove his ability to heal. That makes a big difference if you accidentally take out one of the spiderlings, or you come in across somebody else. And you want to be able to lay down some decent debuffs on the spider. The Nether Spider is susceptible to brimstone for a blessing. If you have a legendary in there and is able to attack with it, you can hit him with poison as well. He is susceptible to poison. It does make a difference. But as far as buffs on your team, block damage is a big help. You have to be able to cleanse. You definitely need continuous heal and an ability to keep your team in the fight with healing throughout. You probably want somebody who's able to revive to come through. Now, the main lead in this that most people use is Python. He was a free champion that was part of a fusion event. He brings cleansing, he has healing, and he is a full team revive. That is the resist lead here for this team. That's kind of a go-to. Now, the way this one is built, I'm not using, other than Python, I'm not using any of the champions that most people use for this build. There's no HELLAPAIN, there's no Venomage, there's no Geomancer. Instead, it's Snicktrack, MYTHLAX, Demytha, and Grizzled Jarl. And it does work on 90, but it is very slow. So we're going to take a look at the team just so you can see the setup that I have here. And the speeds. The speeds really aren't that important for this. It's more about what you're bringing to the fight. So round 3 for Python, I have him opening with his cleanse, his A2 cleanse. I don't have anything turned off. I just have his A2 turned on. Snicktrack, A2 is turned off in round 3 because it is an AoE, and you cannot hit those spiderlings. I have him opening with his A3, which is Ally Protect, and Reflect Damage, which is putting damage back on the spider when they take hits. That's kind of your alternative to Geomancer. Geomancer brings a reflect hit. His passive, as long as he has HP burn on, then he gives the damage that he's receiving back. HYDRA is pretty much your heavy hitter. He's laying down poisons. The only thing that you're missing is his A3, which is his enemy max HP hit. You cannot have it turned on in the third round because it is an AoE. Demytha, same thing. She's bringing her block damage to this. In round 3, I just have her running normal. It's just default setup. Grizzled Jarl is an interesting because he brings heal reduction on his A1. He was from an old clan boss build, but you can leave his A2 on because it's increased defense and block debuffs, which does help, but you'll have to turn his A3 off because it is an AoE. Remember, AoEs and turn meter controls are what you want to avoid for this specific boss in Doom Tower. Now for round 2, if you've got one turned off in round 3, I just use it heavy in round 2. So like here, Storm of Vitriol on HYDRA, I have it opening, and then I have the Corruption Locust, which is what's important for round 3. I have it off in round 2, so just have them swap. The alternate team for this, which is the one most people will use across the board, is this build. Pythion, same one. You're also going to have Hellcath, Baron, Geo, and Venomage. There are champions that you can adjust around here. For example, Hellcath is, the Demytha is kind of the option. They're both block damage. They both bring something a little different. Though with the Hellcath, you have to turn off his A2 because it's an AoE. Baron's just there for damage. He runs default on the third round because every one of his attacks one enemy. Geo, right here. Geo is, he brings a very unique A3, which it lays down HP burn. So you have to have a ton of accuracy on him. It lays down HP burn, and then his passive works with it, decreases the damage all allies receive, and then whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. That is his passive. He is a boss killer because of it, but you have to have that HP burn stick. The rub here is, though, that to lay the HP burn down, it is an attack all enemies here on Quicksand Grasp, and it depletes the target's turn meter. It's not an AoE. It depletes the target's turn meter, which does bring damage back at you, but I think there's no way around it. Venomage is even worse. The A3 is an AoE that lays down that heal reduction, but it does seem to, as long as you have enough health and you can do it quickly, this is the team that most people use for Nether, the Nether Spider. So here we're going to try it on Doom Tower Hard, floor 90, and just see how this runs with these. I do have same thing I said with the other team. Anything that they're using or starting with in the third round, I have as like a if they're not using it in round 3, I have them exclusively using it in round 2, and then anything that I need for round 3, I'm resting in round 2 in the automatic team build. That way I don't really have to do anything. I can just let this auto play. This is running great on floor 90, Doom Tower Hard. The higher you go, right now we're early in this rotation, so that's where I'm at. As I go higher, one or two of those, either one of those teams may work better. It's just a matter of which one. Can you swap in and out the champions between those two to get it done as quick as possible. Here we go. The main thing, though, is the cleansing. As long as you're cleansing all of the poisons off of your team and keeping everybody healed, you do have somebody in for block damage and a means of laying damage back on the spider as much as you possibly can. You're going to be fine. Reflect damage does make a big difference. Snick Track is an alternative to Geo. Is not a good alternative. It's definitely a lot slower. I mean, as you can see, we're a minute 30 in and we're halfway through the spider. That is, as long as that heal reduction is on and the HP burn is in and we're reflecting the damage back, this is a much more efficient, faster destruction on this. We're close, and we have Pythion to bring everybody back if we need to. Actually, there it is. Block damage, and about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Much better than the other team, but the other team does work. It's just an alternative. I hope that helps, specifically for Nether Spider, whether it's easy or, well, not easy. There is no easy Doom Tower. Normal Doom Tower or hard Doom Tower. Finally he sleeps. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe here at YouTube. Turn on notifications. That way you never miss when any of these videos go live. As always, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.